Hello there and welcome to GamePoints 139, our weekly little get-together. We talk about recent gaming news. As you can see today, I am flying solo. David had a bit of a thing he had to take care of, so couldn't join us tonight, but I will be covering some of the topics that we have on hand. As always, we do stream live here at Twitch TV/GamePoints every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so if you can join us, we always appreciate it. We're audience interactive, so we try to interact with the audience whenever we can, thus the term audience interactive. This is going to be really interesting to do solo, so please bear with me. Tonight, we have some IGN plagiarism stuff I want to get into. We have some Fallout 76 concerns I have, Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer dropped, of course, and a few other topics I want to bring up before the show is over. If you are watching us live, jump in on these at any time, but if you can't, feel free to check out our YouTube page, youtube.com/c/GamePointsPC for any of the old shows you might have missed. So, since it is just me tonight, let's go ahead and get right into things with the first story of the night, and that is this really fucked up situation with IGN plagiarism. And before I continue, yes, Coco, it is just me tonight. Like I said earlier, if you missed it, David had something he had to take care of. He will be back next week. It's not like he's been removed or anything like that. It's nothing bad. It's just he couldn't make it tonight. Back on the topic at hand with the IGN plagiarism thing. This information broke as the show was recording last Monday. And it all kicked off. And the sources I'm going to be using are via Kotaku and IGN. I will go ahead and give this full disclosure. I did work at IGN for about 3 months in a contract position on a behind-the-scenes project, so I do know some of the people still working there. I haven't spoken with them for a while, so it shouldn't really affect my reporting on this, but I feel it's important just to get that out of there so people can understand where I'm coming from on some things and my point of view a little bit more on what happened. So, last Monday, Dead Cells reviews started popping up all over the place, specifically at IGN. A reviewer by the name of Philip Mewson, I believe, he was their Nintendo Reviews editor, reviewed it. This was his first review he did for IGN that he completely wrote, filmed, and edited himself. It goes up, gives the game a 9.7. Everything's copacetic until a YouTuber by the name of Boomstick Gaming sees the review and notices way too many similarities to make it coincidental that he did not rip this off from this YouTuber. Boomstick Gaming put up a video saying, hey, IGN plagiarized my video. What do I do? He was legitimately asking for help, and this story blew up. Of course, the best reporter in games journalism, in my opinion, Jason Schreier got a hold of it, wrote this article right here. IGN pulls review after plagiarism out. Let me restart over again. IGN pulls review after plagiarism accusations. Not too soon after all of this started to erupt, did the review get taken down and had a big, hey, we're looking into this. And it snowballed really quickly after this. This is from the article itself. The gaming site IGN has removed a review for the game Dead Cells after allegations surfaced yesterday that a reviewer's writer had plagiarized from a small YouTube channel. The yesterday in this case would be Monday. It was about a week ago when this all happened. A quote from the webpage that was in place of the Dead Cells review. As a group of writers and creators who value our own work and that of others in our field, the editorial staff of IGN takes plagiarism very seriously. In light of concerns that they have been raised about our Dead Cells review, we removed it for the time being and are investigating. In less than 24 hours, Philip Mewson was essentially terminated from IGN, sent off on his way. IGN takes this kind of shit very seriously. I understand a lot of people go, oh, they're games journalism. Oh, it's the lowest fun of journalism. But still, they live and die on their brand. And this kid did extreme damage to that brand. Because if you can see the video that Boomstick Gaming put up comparing what he said about his Dead Cells reviews to what Philip Mewson said about his, it's pretty goddamn clear cut. This is a blatant case of plagiarism. I will say throughout this entire thing, Boomstick Gaming has been an extreme professional about the entire thing. Take a look at his channel, take a look at his Twitter feed, and he's been very calm. He just wants credit where credit's due. And yeah, Coco for Tacos, plagiarism is absolutely no joke, especially on a company trying to hold on to reputation. And games journalism, for better or worse, is losing trust more and more from its audience. So there's a lot of conspiracy theories around game journalism. Almost none of them are true. And once again, I will preface this, I did work for IGN real quick, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But for example, the idea of paid reviews at these big sites like Kotaku, Polygon, IGN, they don't exist. As far as I know, no one has ever gotten paid for a review, and I actually know a lot of these people. Now, you can say, hey, there are people covering games that they're friends with. That's a whole different set aside. But there's a lot of unfounded conspiracy theories when it comes to games journalism. So shit like this, when it pops up, just runs wild. And this is plagiarism. There's no two words about it. This is horrible what this guy did. And to make matters worse, after he was fired from IGN, he produces a video that's essentially him going, hey, I accept responsibility, but it was all a mistake and I didn't really do anything here. And he doesn't really apologize in his apology video. And you can imagine how well that went over. He has since pulled that video down. I'm sure you can find archives of it up everywhere else. But it's this dude's career is dead. Not only is it dead, but he had one chance to salvage it by saying, hey, I fucked up. I'm sorry. I was under deadlines. I panicked. And he didn't. He instead said, yeah, I was fired. That sucks. I accept responsibility, but it's not my fault. And he doubled down on the excuses that are paper thin. And it's all bullshit. And we all see right through it. Of course, his own audience, his fans kind of say, oh, yeah, we forgive you, etc. But this is an open and shut case. And then he goes on to talk about how Jason Schreier, the author of the article here, is only doing this for the clicks. And he's like, go ahead, dig more into my past. So Jason Schreier did, and found both a Metroid review and a FIFA review that also seemed to bear a very striking resemblance to two other reviews out there. So this is not the first time that this kid has done this. I know a lot of people are wondering what the big deal is. But when it comes to games media sites, they live and die by their reputation. And now IGN's reputation has been damaged, and in some people's view, irreversibly damaged. Remember, this is a site that still gets bombarded with people making jokes about too much water. A meme, by the way, that actually makes sense if you read the review of what it was about. That said, IGN is not blameless here. And I legitimately like IGN. Like I said, I know some of these people. But that's why you have reviews editors. The reviews editor is a guy by the name of Dan Stapleton. He is a solid cat. Worked with him for a little bit. It is ultimately his job to go through these reviews and go, hey, why is this seeming weird? And I know that I believe he said, so don't quote me on this, but I believe he said it is impossible for us to do that. But that is literally why you have managing editors and reviews editors, to make sure everything is okay. At the end of the day, they give the green light for something to go up on their site. So while they did not implicitly plagiarize, they okayed something that did. So to say that IGN is blameless in this case is false. They were taking a ride just like everyone else, but they kind of, the managing editors, the reviews editors, serve as a bulwark to keep this from happening. And it happened on their watch. And that sucks. And I feel sorry for everyone at IGN. It is fucked up that this douchebag took advantage of your trust, lied about his abilities, and essentially stole work from other people that got him hired at your company. But the buck stops with your editorial management team when it comes to this, and it should have been caught. I know people are saying there's no way it can be caught, but it should have been. It's a problem you guys have to figure out. And in my years of covering this, I have never seen anything like this happen on this big of a scale. And just this one story is going to immediately cast doubt on everything IGN has ever done, because people are insane when it comes to this stuff. and it sucks. And yeah, Coco, they were ignorant for a better word. And we all know the meme, you can't spell ignorant without IGN. I think it's unfair to say that, but shit like this gives that stuff a little bit of credence. It breathes oxygen back into the fire of this. It's crappy. I hate that shit like this happens. And like I said, the amount of damage that Philippe has done to the IGN brand and games journalism overall cannot be understated. This is as bad as Gerstmann Gate was when Jeff Gerstmann got fucking shit canned from GameStop after his Kane and Lynch review. That's this level of bad. And it will be remembered because the internet never forgets and people love to drag anything successful down. And what makes all of this the more worse is that Philip didn't even really apologize. Go find an archive of his YouTube video somewhere. You will see him do an apology video that he doesn't apologize for. He doesn't say, hey, I'm sorry to Boomstick Gaming, if I recall. I watched it when it first came out. It's been a week since then. And he is just a slime ball throughout the entire thing. It left such a bad taste in my mouth that he was caught red-handed and still goes, well, I didn't mean it. I just did research for my reviews. And sure, some things might have latently slipped on my brain. Motherfucker, you lifted word for word stuff that he did. And this isn't the first time you did it. You just got caught this time. It is a terrible situation all around. Fuck this dude specifically, but don't go harass him. Don't go to his social media page. The best thing you can do is just forget he exists and let this be a cautionary tale to anyone else thinking they can lift someone's work in this day and age when everything is observed and recorded and everyone is connected. It will get back to you. And all it takes is one mistake and then your entire history of work is immediately scrutinized to unbelievably high levels. Feel bad for the people at IGN. They got screwed hard. But do not see them as blameless because, as I said, ultimately at the end of the day, it is their responsibility to make sure what gets put up on their site falls within their editorial standards. Now, kudos to them for being on top of this. Like within 24 hours, the review was pulled and Philip was given his walking papers. He was out there like, you fucked up, you're done. They were on this immediately. They have been open from the beginning. It's just bad all around. Anyways, I know this news is roughly a week old. It was literally breaking as we were on the show last week. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below and in chat. Coco for Tacos, I think we're probably on the same page as far as this goes. It just, God, I hate this so much. I hate what this punk did. Because it's not just IGN that gets affected by it, but every site. Love them or hate them. And it just adds fuel to all the conspiracy theories out there. Anyways. That's crap. I hate it. But let us know what you think down below. So, moving on from there. This is where I was going to be talking with David about how awesome that Red Dead 2 Redemption trailer was. Because goddamn, it looked amazing, right? But unfortunately, I don't have anyone to bounce that off to. So, the only thing I can suggest is that you all go take a look at it. I mean, what more can be said? The game looks amazing. I love that they're doing something with the gang family, as it were, to where it's not just 7 or 8 people riding on horseback, robbing stuff left and right, but they actually set up camp. They have their families with them, and you can kind of, it seems to be expanding this little family that they have going on, and I always love that. It's a more personal touch to the base building idea, and I love base building in video games. I'm looking forward to it. By the way, I appreciate it, Coco, and Dr. Hugo, welcome to the chat. I'm glad you showed up. As you can see, just me tonight. David is on personal business at the moment, couldn't join the show. I was actually not excited for this game. for the longest time on purpose. I liked Red Dead Redemption. I thought it was a fun game. I didn't play Undead Nightmare. I probably should have. I'm told it's great. But I've kind of been on blackout for this game specifically because I didn't want to get hyped up for it and then spend the next year like vibrating in my seat about how excited I am for it. Now that we're, 3 weeks? 3.5 weeks away from launch, I finally started to open up into the videos of it and all the articles written about it, and god damn does this game look amazing. And I fully expect the way the official gameplay video ends, that in the next week or so, probably weekly if I had to guess, you'll see more of the game revealed, more of the systems involved in it. One word of caution I will say is that the videos being shown are in 4K, so unless you have a PlayStation 4 Pro, you're probably not going to get, or an Xbox, what's it called? Next. You're not going to get video looking that crisp. And you might have, it might not run as well. So just keep that in mind. These videos are, for lack of a better term, doctored to look as good as they possibly can. So just keep your expectations in check. That said, we know the quality of stuff Rockstar puts out. I don't see this being an issue at all whatsoever. And I am pretty goddamn certain this game is going to be amazing. But it is always nice to have a healthy dose of skepticism, lest you get Watch Dogs or Killzone 2, you know. Yeah, Coco, the videos are definitely the videos being shown are definitely not what everyone's going to be getting, in my opinion. Yeah, I absolutely agree. A lot of these aren't even running on consoles sometimes. They're usually running on high-end PCs that they fiddle with, and the PC is literally built only to run that game. So it's designed to get the best looking quality possible that's just not replicable in a home setting. But as I said, that doesn't mean this game's not going to be amazing. Just always have skepticism when you see trailers devoted to this stuff. Next topic. I know we're moving these pretty fast. When it's me solo, the shows tend to only be 30 minutes because I don't have anyone to really bounce off to. Chat aside, you guys are awesome, but there is a difference between having someone live talking to you and reading chat. So let's go ahead and get to the next story. This one is via CNET. Kind of relevant with the recent Monster Hunter release here. Monster Hunter World axed in China days after its launch. It's not even been a week. This is by Zoe Chong. China's Great Firewall has done it again. Monster Hunter World got in the axed in China 5 days after its launch on Tencent's WeGame, the Steam-esque platform, announced Monday. WeGame said the role-playing title will no longer be available to purchase for following, quote, numerous reports received by authorities complaining that some parts of the game did not fill regulatory requirements. Now, if you don't know how business in China works, they have to conform very strictly to a set of regulations in place for a myriad of reasons. Some of them are cultural insensitivity. For example, I don't remember the exact number of Western movies that can be released in China, but it's a very small number. And this is why you see movies like some of the more recent Transformers having set pieces in China. Or when the Red Dawn remake came out, they went from being Chinese invaders to just straight North Korean invaders. Because if the government of China thinks that you are casting the country in a bad light, you don't get to release your movie there. Why is that important? Because there's over 1 billion people in China. It's 7% of the world. It's like something like 10% of the world's population or something like that. No, it's more than 10% of the world's population. It's a lot of people. It is a whole bunch of people. Coco, you bring up a good point. The new Winnie the Pooh movie, Christopher Robin, banned in China because there's a meme where the President Z is called Winnie the Pooh. He looks like Winnie the Pooh, apparently, and they just banned all imagery of Winnie the Pooh in that country because you can't mock the government. Additionally, there are other things like you can't show hostility or violence toward pandas, which is why WoW had such a hard time getting in there because of the Pandarians. China's regulatory... What's the word I'm looking for? China's regulatory commission is very restrictive on what you can allow in. And Monster Hunter seems to get the problem with it. However, the reason why I'm reporting this isn't because of anything Monster Hunter World actually did. The problem seems to be not from what's in there, but from... Where is it? Here we go. This time it's different, though, according to the article. Monster Hunter World was likely pulled because of bureaucratic infighting stemming from China's new media regulator, which has established control of gaming approvals, according to the Financial Times, which themselves sort an unnamed source. Source, an unnamed source. Cite, an unnamed source. I can read. The bureaucracy of China is an Orwellian nightmare that rivals that of Terry Gilliam's Brazil. This is a dick-waving competition between two people behind the scenes at whatever is approving games to come across. That is what these unnamed sources are saying. That is how terrifyingly powerful the government of China actually is that your game can be pulled after it was been released because one person in Department A has a problem with someone in Department B. The red tape in China is terrifying because they're not really communist anymore, because communism and socialism by extension are broken ideologies when it comes to economics, and they just don't work. So they open up their markets, but they're so heavily regulated, and a lot of graft and bribery and corruption runs rampant. Not that it doesn't run rampant through here, but it's just so much more heavy-handed over there. And it's interesting to see it affect a game this big that's launched over there, because Monster Hunter World was, for all intents and purposes, a big seller over there, and now it's just been tossed out the door. I'm sure that if things change, we'll touch back on this story later. And if you happen to be in China watching this, though, I don't know if that's... I mean, I'm small enough. And by small enough, I mean microscopic, that I can sneak through the Great Firewall. Let me know more details about what's going on in this, like what you might think, if it's totally safe for you to do so. I know that speaking ill of the government over there tends to be met with very violent reprisals. Moving on to the next topic. Over the weekend, QuakeCon happened. Whole bunch of information came out from QuakeCon. I recommend you guys take a look at it. I'm not going to go over the entire thing, but I am going to focus on one or two things that I wanted to mention, or wanted to bring up because they're of personal interest to me. One, Doom Eternal. Looks amazing. I love it. I would show you a trailer right now if it wouldn't get pulled. Doom 2016 was one of my favorite games that year. It made me angry in all the best ways. I absolutely loved how emotive the Doom guy was, which sounds really weird because he doesn't say a goddamn word in it, but all of his emotions are portrayed through his actions. For example, at the very beginning, when he's in the elevator and he's listening to Samuel Hayden going, "Everything we've done here, we've done for the good of humanity." And as he says that, he just looks down and sees that dead Marine and picks up the shotgun. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, you got this guy killed. So that alone is enough for me to go after you. All that seems to be in place with the Doom Eternal trailer. Recommend taking a look at it. It did pick up some controversy over the past weekend, however, with some of the alleged poking the liberal hive, as it were, and that makes me sound like an Alex Jones nut job to say that, but you do have people legitimately pissed off at some of the things said in there, specifically two quotes. One, the "remember demon could be an offensive term, refer to him as mortally challenged," and two, Earth is the melting pot of the universe. This has bent a lot of people out of shape, saying things like, "Oh, how dare they mock social causes, we're not going to buy Doom anymore." Let's be honest, you guys weren't going to buy Doom to begin with. And this is nothing but poking fun at the left, the way Wolfenstein's marketing poked fun at the right. Learn to take a fucking joke. And before people scream at me about hypocrisy, because I'll fully admit, the Wolfenstein marketing plan got go, I'm not too down with that. But I never stood up and said, "How fucking dare they mock things that I might care about, and how dare they say bad things about my political tribe, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to buy this game, and neither should you." Fuck off with that. Wolfenstein was amazing. Doom is going to be amazing. Not every goddamn thing in your life has to be one side or the other, and if you're part of the other side, you gotta be destroyed. Laugh at yourself, man. Sit back. Look at that as a joke and go, yeah, okay, that's pretty goddamn funny. And you know what? At the end of the day, the game is going to be amazing regardless. Next game that I saw, Rage 2. More than a little Mad Maxing in that trailer. Especially when it comes to car combat. You could tell that Avalanche is definitely working on it. Kind of excited for it. I'm also happy to see a color palette that's not just brown and gray, with jungles, wetlands, etc. I'm not going to get into too many details about it, because you can also watch this trailer online. Finally, we're going to get into some Fallout 76 stuff. specifically 2 stories from IGN that have me really concerned about Fallout 76. The first, let me bring this up here. Fallout 76 won't be available on Steam. Oh, by the way, guys, regardless of what side it is, stop doing this autoplay video crap, and when I go past it popping up here, I hate it, I can't stand it, and I can't even get rid of it unless I log on. See, look at that. Who wants that? No one wants that. Stop doing that. So, see, this is keeping me from reading the article, man. Guys, come on. Come on, it's right in the way, and I'm trying to read this article here. What do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing? Well, we'll just slide it over here. Where was I going? Ah, here we go. Let me start from the end. Fallout 76 won't be available on Steam. Both the full retail release and the upcoming beta will be available only on Bethesda.net, meaning it will not be coming to Steam at launch. Stop that. By the way, I am not interested in playing your games on Origin. I am not interested in Uplay. I'm not interested in Bethesda.net, whatever the hell that is. It's the first time I've used that. I want all of my shit in one source. All this does is add an extra layer of bullshit that I have to jump through, which is one more thing against me playing your game. Stop it. I cannot stand it. Cocoa for Tacos, it will be available. It will not be available on Steam at all, from what I understand. You have to go through Bethesda.net. Now, you can always add a non-Steam game to the Steam library and just launch it from there. But it's just more gatekeeping. Fucking stop it. And a bit hypocritical, as I'm going to point out as we go on. PC Gamer received a response from Bethesda Rep about the PC release wording, stating, quote, the PC version of Fallout 76 for both the beta and the launch will be available only on Bethesda.net, not on Steam. There you go. Clear as crystal. Not on Steam. And yes, that actually is a problem for me because I don't need 7 different client launchers on my PC, all of which are nonstop connected, downloading bullshit all the time, looking into shit that I'm doing, and slowing things down. Stop this gatekeeping bullshit. I know you don't want to cut off your profits on Steam. I get it. I understand it. In fact, if I was running Bethesda, I'd probably want my own distribution service as well. I understand where you're coming from, understand what I am coming from, what I say, that's more hoops to get me to play a free-to-play game that I really don't have that much interest in. At least I think it's free-to-play. Fallout 76 is free-to-play, right? Let me know down in the comments below. I believe it is. That said, not as infuriating as the next story here. The next story is, yeah, clients are ass. I absolutely agree. I hate additional clients, but I hate this more. Also from IGN, Bethesda details Fallout 76 perk system. As we go on, we had a lot of information about Fallout 76 come out, but this one specifically caught my eye right here. From the article. As you level up, cards are unlocked, and each one comes with a point value that's used to increase one of the special attributes. Each card features a new ability that can be leveled up. Duplicate cards can be merged to level a card, but this will also increase the point value. Perk card packs are rewarded every 4 levels and give 4 random cards. That is a fucking loot box. Fallout 76 is going to have fucking loot boxes in it. Now, you knew they had to monetize it somehow, right? But the year of Battlefront 2, fucking up the idea of loot boxes for everyone. Bethesda has the stones to hide level up perks in random crates. Fuck off with that. Back to the article. But you'll get your regular perk card from Level as well, in addition to some random joke bubblegum that's in there. Bethesda did go on to say perk packs cannot be purchased with real world money. Congrats, good job, because that pay to win shit's bullshit. However, notice the way they worded that. Perk packs cannot be purchased with real world money. But dollars to donuts, and this is just me theorizing, this is not guaranteed for certain. You could goddamn bet though, and not people only put money on it, that there will be a way that you can pay to level up faster, which will get you more packs faster, which makes this a distinction without a difference in my mind. Fucking loot crate. God damn it, Bethesda. So, yeah, Coco, I know chat delays a little bit going on here. They did say that you're not going to be able to buy packs with real-world money. But like I said, that doesn't preclude them from going, but you can buy like experience boosters, which lets you level faster, which means you get more loot packs faster. That is how I think they'll get around it. But we will see. We don't know for sure what kind of monetization in place they're going to have in there until later. So let's not necessarily crucify them just yet. But god damn, do these two things make me just really, really worried about Fallout 76 in the future. And I was already kind of off-put by the idea of a Fallout that is a multiplayer crafting game, because the crafting was the part I hated the most about Fallout 4. Still want to play it. Still want to take a look at it. But I am not excited for it. I am not hyped for it, which might actually work in its favor. Now, let's get into the final story, which I legitimately actually like Bethesda for saying this, even if a bit of the hypocrisy given the fact that they themselves are trying to gate their own content through Bethesda.net. In an article from Game Informer, Bethesda may not release The Elder Scrolls Legends on systems that do not allow crossplay. This is a blatant jab at Sony over their Fortnite fiasco about how Fortnite can be played and everything but PlayStation 4 consoles. And this is what I'm wanting to see, because this is going to pressure Sony to finally join everyone else into allowing crossplay. This is by Andrew Veneer. It's a big, long article. I recommend you guys take a look at it. I'm going to pick out some highlights from here. In an interview with Game Informer's Andrew Veneer, Pete Hines, Bethesda's Senior Vice President of Global Marketing. And I like Pete Hines, by the way. I legitimately like Pete Hines. Vice President of Global Marketing and Communication stated the following. The Elder Scrolls Legends is a strategy card game that encompasses both single and multiplayer. It is both cross-platform play and cross-platform progress. The interviewer then cut him off at this point to clarify what cross-platform would be only on certain systems, since I figured this would apply only PlayStation 4. Hines then replied, "It is our intention for the game to come out. It has to have those things on any system. We cannot have a game that works one way across everywhere except for this one thing. The way the game works right now on Apple, Google, Steam, and Bethesda.net, it doesn't matter where you buy your stuff or if you play it on another platform, that stuff is there. It doesn't matter what platform you play on, you play against everyone else who is playing at the moment. There is no, oh, it's easier to control or it has better frame rate on this system. It's a strategy card game. It doesn't matter." Rainier then asked him if he meant there's a chance it won't come out on PlayStation 4 if Sony doesn't change its stance. He then followed up, quote, "We continue to talk to all of our platform partners, but those terms are essentially non-negotiable." This is Pete Hines saying Sony can kick fucking rocks if it is not crossplay on their platform. Brah fucking oh. This crossplay thing is going to blow up. It is going to be a big consumer swear when the next generation of systems come out. And Sony is doing that Sony hubris thing they did right before PlayStation 3 comes out, when they're going to go, we had the best selling console on PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. You'll fucking get a second job to buy our $600 black console. And no one did. And it cost them that generation. And now they had to lay the groundwork, get the goodwill of gamers back. PlayStation 4 is amazing. And now we're starting to see that Sony hubris come back up again. Specifically with this crossplay thing, but with some other topics as well, which we can get into another time. And Pete Hines is standing up saying, kiss my ass. And Bethesda is big enough to get away with it. But you'd think Fortnite would also be big enough to get away with it too. So that's not necessarily a guarantee it's going to happen. But as more companies start doing this, Sony will give in eventually. Let's take a look here at chat. Todd Howard hasn't been scared to jab at Sony's decision on Bethesda CEOs, for a lot of the shit that I give them, their upper management tends to be actually pretty goddamn open with things. Bethesda itself tends to be very litigious. They tend to go after weird things in their lawsuits. See recently this Evil Within 2 being prevent the used copy of a game being sold or something like that. I need to research it, so don't the reason why I didn't bring it up is because I don't know much about it. But they're kind of nuts when it comes to lawsuits. I remember them suing Mojang for the name Scrolls for their little card game thing when they themselves, because it was too close to Elder Scrolls. They do a lot of shitty things. But when it comes to just saying, yeah, I'll tell you right now, this is blah, 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 blah. They don't mince words, and I love them for it. And they will throw shade if they have to. And in this case, Sony needs to have the shade thrown at them. Going on, I'm just going to finish out this quote to the article here. We can't be talking about one version of Legends when you take your progress with you and another version where you stay within that ecosystem where it's walled off from everything else. That is counter to what the game has been about. I agree, which is why I don't get the Fortnite cross-platform thing on Sony. Now, in Sony's defense for Fortnite, the cross-platform idea didn't come around until after Fortnite was already on the PlayStation 4, and then crossplay came out later. This game is being built up from the ground up with it, so it's going to be interesting to see how Sony responds to it. Another one of those things that I'm sure we will keep an eye on when Elder Scrolls Legends finally comes out. I agree there, Coco. Sony won't do anything with crossplay until they hit profits, but when publishers and developers are like, we're just not going to launch our game on Sony because you don't have crossplay, that will actually start hitting their pockets. Either way, this is a story that's developing. We're not going to know what happens with this until well after the actual game has been released, or if Sony might capitulate on it, or if Sony says, screw it, we're not going to worry about it. That's stuff that we're not going to for a while now. But if you wanted something to occupy your time between now and then, let's go ahead and get into new releases for this week. Normally David's segment, so I don't know most about what we have on here, so I'm just going to kind of read them off real quick. First up, Bard's Tale Trilogy on PC. I love the Bard's Tale. It's kind of a role-playing game crossed with The Princess Bride. I would take a look at it if you're into it. Also coming out, Cosmic Star Heroine on the Switch. This is a indie RPG that is actually pretty goddamn good. If you haven't played it, get on the Switch. It's perfect for the go. Death's Gambit on PS4 and PC. No idea what that one is. Fall of Light on Xbox One. Guns, Gore, and Cannoli on the PlayStation 4. Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes on the Xbox One and the Switch. This is that two-player cooperative bomb disposal simulator. Really goddamn fun if you can get two people playing it. Almost mandatory for it, in my opinion. It's a good party game. Phantom Doctrine on the PlayStation 4 and PC. My review for Phantom Doctrine should be going up tomorrow morning. I want to talk about it, but I cannot because I'm under embargo. Take a look at my channel, youtube.com/c/GamePointsPC for the review. It should be up, knock on wood, tomorrow morning by the time you're waking up. It is an XCOM spy. It's an XCOM-style spy thriller set in the Cold War. State of Mind on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. The Walking Dead, the final season, Episode 1 on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. This is going to be interesting because this is the final game using Telltale's current engine. They are updating their engine after this one, and arguably this is their biggest series that they have. The Walking Dead Season 1 is kind of what put Telltale on the map. They did games before. They did the Jurassic Park game, the Back to the Future game. But it was specifically The Walking Dead that made everyone go, damn, Telltale's good. And then everyone and their mom wanted to make a game of Telltale, and they got swamped with work, and they never updated their engine. And they're kind of on a downswing right now. So it's going to be interesting to see how well this one pans out. I love first season. Second season, I was right. Third season, I played episode 1 of, and I was like, I'm done. I don't care about this franchise anymore. I do want to see this, how they wrap up Clementine's story, though. Also, Wailing Heights coming out on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and finally, the big one, technically came out today, World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth. I'm not an MMO guy, but I always play the World of Warcraft expansions. I bought my 2 months of time. I'll play WoW for a couple months, and then I'll forget about my character for another 2 years when the next one comes out. There is a reason why it is still popular going on, 13, 14 years now. Love or hate WoW, people really enjoy that game. So that is what is coming out this week. And I think that brings us to the end of the story. I just realized I left the Game Informer story up there the entire time. So that's nice. That's fun. So it happens when I'm flying the show solo. I forget to do some things every now and then. And that just brings us to the end of the show. I appreciate everyone staying on here. When I do it on my own, it is kind of weird because I don't have anyone to talk with, and it's me literally just babbling about nonsense for 35 to 40 minutes straight. David usually kind of reels me in from some of my rants, so if I go off the rails a little bit, I apologize. Yeah, very professional. Very professional. If you liked what you saw here, however, do know it's usually better when my co-host is here. So tune in this Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here at twitch.tv/GamePoints for that show. And if you happen to catch us live, drop on by like a couple of people in chat. Coco for Tacos, always appreciate it. Dr. Hugo, you're always welcome here too. And just chat. Let us know what you think. drop in, say hi, go, hey, why don't you guys talk about this topic? And if it fits, we'll go with it. If you can't follow us live, though, and can't watch us live, go to our YouTube page. That's youtube.com/c/GamePointsPC. And all the old shows, including this travesty, will be put up there. Do the same there. Regardless of where you watch us, you guys have all been on the internet long enough. You know what I'm going to say. Like, follow, subscribe, toss bits at, all that good stuff. Every little bit does actually help. If you want to follow the show on Twitter, you can do so at GamePointsPC. If you want to follow me, I am Stephen Brown at CapitalistPig21. And if you want to watch me randomly stream games, you can usually see me do that throughout the week. So go ahead and give me a follow up there too. This is GamePoints 139. Appreciate all of you watching. And until next week, I'm out of here.